welcome to the Tuesday stream. I hope everyone's having an awesome Tuesday morning. Welcome. Hey, words are fun. Hey, Heat. Hey, Memias. How's it going? Morning. Alright. Come on. There we go. Kids are getting theirs next week. Nice. Got my second shot. Feeling a little sore. Not 100%. Just tired and happy to get it. Well, I'll say this. I got my first Pfizer shot yesterday. And I do feel the left arm. I do feel it very sore. I was pretty tired afterwards. I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but nonetheless, it's fine. It's just sore. I feel like I worked out. I feel like I actually worked out. AstraZeneca and J&G, nice. I'm always exhausted, so I don't know. Moderna, nice. Thank you, I appreciate that. Also, really quickly, folks, make sure y'all follow Eat420_. Real quick shout out here. My nurse warned me that there was more reported side effects with Moderna. My nurse warned me that there was more reported side effects with Moderna. Interesting. You know, obviously this is like anecdote Andy, but also my friends who have had the Moderna. This is not medical, advice or studies or anything like that, okay? But my friends who have had Moderna versus Pfizer, well, I guess the ones that we have here are Moderna, Pfizer, and J&J. Most of them have gotten either Moderna or Pfizer. The ones who have had Moderna experienced more of the side effects on the second shot. The ones who took the Pfizer shot experienced less of the side effects. That's not based on any studies. I'm just saying they're just. And here we have you saying that your nurse actually warned you about the potential for there being more side effects with Moderna. The data backs that apparently. Really. Now that's fascinating. So it's not just like something that just coincidentally happened within my friend group, right? So this is actually backed by a study. Interesting. I gotta find it. Okay, I mean, hey, if it's backed by data, that makes sense then, because again, obviously it was anecdotes just within my friend group, but basically, yeah. Hey, Skadir, how's it going? Morning. I got my my Pfizer shot gave me a fever for 24 hours and some swollen lymph nodes, but not too bad. Okay, that's a lot less. That's a lot more tame than what I've heard. My wife had health issues and she's in bed. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. Would be a pretty boring show if he wasn't here. Yeah, can you imagine if it was just the chair doing the stream? I mean, I'm sure the chair can handle the news and politics. I'm pretty sure the chair is quite capable of doing this just fine. They're talking about our rare getting as rare as getting struck by lightning, but it still has to be mentioned. Gotcha. Like, I know that the common ones, it's basically like you feel, from what I understood from what they told me at the Walgreens, supposedly it's kind of like you feel really down, I don't want to say flu or cold, but it kind of has that vibe where you're just like very fatigued. There can be fevers, things like that. So I mean, that's whatever. That's not too much of a concern. You can just grab some of those uh Tylenol and you're good. Yeah, just a chair. If we Yes, that's right. We can do a stream where it's just a chair and I'll be hiding behind it, okay? I'll put like a tiny microphone behind the chair and the chair will be the one. Maybe I can even put googly eyes. Maybe I can put like googly eyes on the chair and just like hide behind the chair with a microphone. Bread Plays, how's it going? Make sure y'all follow Bread Plays. According to Pfizer, about 3.8% of their clinical trial. Oh, you can post it here. You've got the cool little diamond. You can post it here. According to Pfizer, about 3.8 of their clinical trial participants experienced fatigue as a side effect. 2% got a headache. Moderna says 9.7% of their participants felt fatigue, and 4.5% got a headache. Okay, so it's like almost twice as likely, even though both of these are very small percentages. Yeah, just copy pasta. Even though both of these are very small percentages, even though those are small, it is twice as likely as it in the Moderna versus Pfizer. Interesting. Just in comparison, when I got my kid vaccinated for her MMRs and such, our traditional vaccines are well known to have very similar side effects. Yes, that is true. I think that the I think that the comparison that is mostly used is like the kind of feeling after you get your flu shot, is what I understand. Okay. Measles, mumps, and rubella. Got you. Yeah. There's no there's no links. Except for moderators and diamonds, I think. Sorry, my kid just woke up. Oof. Who do you think has the correct take? I don't know. Just name the people who are having name the two people. I'll tell you who has the correct take. I will infer psychically. I will infer psychically who has the correct take. Who are those two people? Because that, there's no links here. I know this is a very draconian stream, okay? There's no links here, nothing. Neither of them would have the correct take. That name is pretty cringe. True. But, what's going on with that? What does that even mean? In this case, neither of them would have the correct take. However, MTG is more unhinged, I think. I'm going out on a limb and say both are pretty... They always are? True! That's exactly what I said. You see, I told you, I can psychically infer these things. Are you for real? Wait. Wait, I think I've seen you here before. Hold on. Wait. Okay. Wait. Okay, so you must be a troll, but are you a feminist or something? Do you have something against male rights? What? No. And what? Feminism, generally speaking, wants equal rights for feminists want equal rights for women. How is that going against male rights? You know, I think you should stop listening to both of those people. Just as a suggestion. Those two of your quote-unquote favorite commentators, maybe you should rethink that, because if we're at the point where we believe that wanting equal rights means taking away from others, is kind of we're reaching brainworm levels here. Feminist movement is harmful to men and women as well. Not really. Actually, feminism, real feminism, is actually pretty beneficial to men too. That is a nothing statement, first of all. And second of all, real feminism, is actually pretty beneficial to men too. You know, it's okay for men to have feelings and all this other stuff. And it's okay for, yeah, exactly. Feminism seeks equality. Correct. You know, that's what it is. That's right. That's right, Darknet. Because reason for that is because for that hierarchy to exist, that must mean the women get less rights, right? For the patriarchy to exist, the women have to have less rights. Yeah, that's what people, is the reason women are forced to work. Wait, forced? What wording is that? Forced to work 8 hours a day, but market is flooded with workers ever since the female invasion. Alright, this must be a troll. Alright, have a good one. This must Hey folks, feminism is when feminism has brought about feminism has brought about the forced labor of women to work 8 hours and flooding the market, an invasion of women, folks. They're just everywhere. Wait, look, what does that mean? Hey, Baked Cupcake, how's it going? I hoped it would be okay for me to get, for me to be a part-time teacher, stay-at-home dad, support my wife's career without having to surrender my masculinity. Oh, hey, look, here we got the alternate ego. We got the alter ego. So we have Men Rights USA, and we have Female Rights UK. We've got the two alter egos coming together. It all makes sense now. Amazing! Listen, as much as I, as much as I think that is, incredibly, like, funny that this is the level of discourse that, these people bring, look, yesterday was my day off. I could handle some of these trolls. Not today. Yeah, not even creative with it. I mean, it was I mean, the alter ego, we have Male Rights USA and Female Rights UK. And this is trolls. Just, yeah, that's fine, Darknet, just ban them. It doesn't, makes no difference to me. These people are, they come here to disrupt and just make random comments. I mean, they stick to a character, I'll give them that. They stick to a character. Ferengi made the same arguments about working women too. Who's Ferengi? The femoids are taking our jobs, right? Yes, Skidier, that's the whole point. That is the whole point of being seen as an equal, right? It's okay for you to be a part-time teacher, a stay-at-home dad, while supporting your wife's career without surrendering masculinity, whatever that means. It's just like, oh, from Star Trek, gotcha. A big ear species in Star Trek that was very anti-women. Oh, interesting. Well, that's embarrassing because I've watched a lot. Well, maybe not a lot of Star Trek, but I've seen a good portion of Star Trek, and I guess I must have missed that. Deep Space Nine, gotcha. Quark. Did you get the shot? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Hey, thank you for the 11 biddies. I appreciate that. The Ferengi. Oh, the Ferengi are... yes, now, okay, now the name is starting to... they're anti-women and hyper-capitalist. Not Voyager or TNG. So did you... So you did J&J? No. This is Two Shots, Pfizer. Thank you so much for the biddies. I appreciate that. We missed the opportunity to debate for the debate of the gods. Yeah, no, I'm not. Look, I had a day off yesterday, so I could mess around, but no, not today. Yesterday we got a couple of the wonderful citizens from the wonderful denizens of the cesspool known as 8kun or 8chan. We had a couple of those wonderful folks pay us a visit. So gotta keep the eyes open today. Getting my Pfizer today. How did you feel after the shot? Hey Loki_war. Right now, I feel, like, to be honest, I feel still a little bit tired. I still feel a little bit tired. Maybe that's just because of sleep. But my arm is still very sore. Like I had a massive workout. Like I had a massive workout. That's how I feel. Like like I overdid it on the weights. Yeah, no, it's fine. It's just sore, like as if it's just sore as if I did like a over workout. My arm is still sore, like a week and a half later. Jeez, Miss Gracie, how's it going? I see you. It made my muscles super weak. Oof. Yeah, no, I still feel sore, but I don't feel necessarily. I just feel like I overworked out. You know, I just feel like I did too hard of a workout. You know. I really noticed it when I was doing broad forking. What is broad forking? I feel like I asked for about a day and a half after my second Moderna vax. Oh yeah, I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the second shot. Ooh. Oh, it's a farm thing for turning soil. Hope everything goes well. Usually people feel sore and weak for about 24 hours. Yeah, this is just the first one, so I'm waiting for the second one. That's when, if the heavier think of a giant fork. Gotcha. So supposedly, from what I understand, the second shot is when the potential for more heavier side effects is when that happens. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, see, I haven't done anything like really like manual labor intensive yet, so maybe that's why. The side effects are just your immune system doing its thing. True. True. Alright, so let's get started on some of these. It helped me get less sore. Yes, that is a very good point. Well, I don't have the supplies. I don't have the supplies, but I used to do that to recover. From back in the days. Back in the days of when I used to do a lot of martial arts training, the best way to kind of like power through soreness is to do like light workouts in between the serious training. You would do very light workout with long periods of rest. Like you would get like a good night's sleep, and do very light workouts. Yeah, like yoga, right? Except I can't do yoga, but I can do other small like exercises, like I used to. All right, let me start some of these headlines. And here's the broad fork. It's like a giant two-handed fork. That giant two-handed fork. Fascinating. Here's a study. Here's a study that Heat, for the article that he posted. Experts. So yeah, like even though this is just like people reporting this, experts say the data shows the two are similar and side effects depend more on the person than the shot itself. Caution in trying to make a decision between two based on side effects. So like, even though that this is a, even though that technically this is what's been reported, just take that as a kind of like an anecdote. But in reality, the chances are a flip of a coin. However, it is to be noted how people reported this. I, for one, just decided on Pfizer based on what my friend said and whatever. So, I mean, technically it should be all the same. It's all science. And you. True. Alright, speaking of which, From 10 NBC Boston sites? Yeah, I think that's what it was, wasn't it? 9 states have 70% of adults at least partially vaccinated against COVID as US cases and deaths fall further. Thank you for the follow, Antisocial Penguin. How's it going? 9 states showed that 70% of adult residents with at least one vaccine shot. CDC and prevention data published on Sunday shows as nationwide COVID cases and death counts fell. Now, it is to be noted that 70% of adult residents have one shot, okay? %70 of adults have had one shot. That does not mean they are completely vaccinated. You need both shots. I support forced vaccination. I don't support forced vaccination. I feel like it should be more of a, look, if you don't get the vaccine, then you're not allowed to, go back to school. Then you're not allowed to go on cruise ships. Then you're not allowed to go on flights. Then you're not allowed potentially, if there's health hazards, back to work. So, yeah, I mean, that's your decision. But just understand that we live in a society. And if we want to participate in said society, these are the ramifications. These are the stipulations. I hate that they decided the magic number was about 70%. It's 80 to 90. Yeah, no, this is just for the this is just for the first shot, folks. This is for the first shot. We need everybody to be completely immunized in order for this to work. There's going to be another wave once the mask requirements stop. Yeah, especially if people feel or want to take advantage of the honor system, which, hey, we've already seen that happen, where they take advantage of the honor system of, oh, you don't have to wear a mask if you're fully vaccinated, and then people start lying about it, Yeah, so it is a concern, Darknet. I do hear that one shot is like 90% effective. I think that the problem with the one shot is I'm not even going to speak on it, to be honest. There's a reason why there's two. And science peoples can explain that, but there's a reason why there's two. Except for the J&J. Words are fun. Except for the J&J. Rip, my state isn't on the list of 70% shots. Yeah, no, there's no state that has 70% of all shots. The point, that's the point I want to bring out, okay? 70% of people, as a general rule, have gotten their first shot. Okay, that doesn't mean that you are completely immunized. On Sunday, New Mexico became the 9th state to report that 70% of adult residents had at least one shot. In Vermont, Hawaii, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Maine, New Jersey, and Rhode Island. The 7-day average of new infections about 25,300 per day. The 7-day average of new infections is about 25,300 per day as of Sunday, according to data compiled by Johns Hopkins, down 24. I mean, like, even then, with this, it's 25,300 per day is still enough to keep this going if we don't do our part, okay? Yeah, the anti-vax and MAGA group will mess it up. Yep. People need to get their shots, true. And let's go adulting. People need to get all their shots, go adulting, true. I hope after this we have all come to respect science people more. We didn't get nearly enough respect prior to this. I want to say, Lavender Gunner, I want to say that logically, that's what should follow. However, reasonable, like reason, common sense is increasingly incredibly difficult to find. So I would like to see that. I would like people to respect science, data, but I'm not gonna hold my breath. I'll say that. Even though you're saying we, I imagine you're a scientist or in the healthcare profession. But I will say this: absolutely, it is to be respected. Without it, we don't go anywhere. Down from 24% a week ago. The country's daily death toll, which is currently at nearly 550 per day, is also declining. Yeah, I know that it's I know that it's been declining, which is good. The trends are in the right direction for now, depending on how people react. And like Darknet said, if these mask requirements are gone and people are just relying on the honor system, we could see another wave. But 550 people a day is still a lot of people. Okay? 550 people a day is still a lot of people. Okay? I just want to make sure that people still understand that this isn't over. We are looking at good trends, and if people do their part, then we can start seeing this turn around. Hey Jesse, how's it going? Vaccines are one of the greatest human achievements in science. It's sad to see so much misunderstanding about them. True. But I wouldn't hold my breath though. Even though, of course, you know, the healthcare professionals, scientists, all deserve respect. Unfortunately, I wouldn't hold my breath. About 49% of the US population has had at least one shot, according to CDC, with 39% fully vaccinated. So that's the crux of this, right? Despite this being like, oh yeah, 70%, it looks good. But I want to make clear that 39% are fully vaccinated across the country. Okay? That is not nowhere near. Herd immunity levels. Nowhere near. Doing work for the benefit and not profits. Well, yeah, I mean, I wish healthcare was just as a universal thing done for the sake of healthcare, not for the sake of profit. I agree with that. I agree that just as a general rule, healthcare shouldn't be done for the sake of profit. It should just be a thing. I mean, maybe that's a little radical for me. But I used to do research into how ML can improve current methods of radiology. I used to better detect cancerous tissue. Now I work for a non-medical startup. Nice, cool. Hey, Surfer Girl Philly. I need it to be Saturday or the end of the day. Tired and yeah, I feel that. Everybody go to twitch.tv/SurferGirlPhilly. Make sure you hit that follow button for them, and go check them out. Seeing anti-science people cringe, and it's not just from people on the right. Yeah, dude, the scientists got this wrong. I'm sure you and your high school diploma can tell us why the vaccines are actually being used to track you. Yeah, I can already feel from my from my first shot. I can already feel this is satire. I can already feel the 5G just emanating from my body. Look at how people worked on this and form around the world. It just makes sense. Look at how people worked on this from around the world. It just makes sense. Yeah, exactly. 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 So, I mean, because like it turns out you need healthcare to live. I know it's a thing. I'm sorry to inform you, but you do need healthcare. It's not an option. I sounded a little elitist. Don't mind me. I've always been a STEM lawyer. It's okay. I respect researchers. I think it's okay if doctors are compensated. Well, yeah. I mean, like nobody's saying they shouldn't be compensated. But as far as pharmaceutical companies, medical supply companies, and landlords at the rate that's a hospital, they deserve no profit. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, nobody's saying that these I mean, doctors absolutely should be compensated for their work. I don't know. It just doesn't have to be under a for-profit system, right? So, for example, under a universal healthcare system, doctors are still being paid. Okay, doctors are still being paid. It's just that the way it is administered, it's not in a for-profit model. It's just a service, right? It's a service. It's kind of like how so the U.S. Postal Service. Those workers still get paid to deliver your mail. You don't get charged in the sense that you pay like the USPS like you would a FedEx or anything like that. It's all built in with your taxes, right? But those workers, those USPS folks, get paid and get paid pretty good. So yeah, of course, the doctors are gonna be compensated. Do you mind? Okay. Yeah, I know. Logic and empathy. You can do things. You can do these things, and I would argue that sometimes empathy follows logic. Sometimes I think because like if you care about people, then logically you would want certain things to be taken care of, right? If you want to make this a better place, which implies that you have some level of empathy, then by logic, you would be geared towards supporting more programs that would help more people, in which turn helps society, in which turn helps you. I don't know. Seems pretty. Yeah, yeah, exactly, Wing. So like, my point is like, absolutely, they'll be taken care. Like the doctors will be compensated, right? The same way postal service workers are compensated. 100K is not nearly enough for doctors. I think that's the same. Would that not be the same as they are paid sometimes at this point? Now specialists make a lot. But like I think like general practitioners, I think that's average. Instead of me talking out of my butt, let's Oh, 125. I mean, that's not too big of a jump. Yeah, 125. Fine. We set the salaried range at 125. Wait. Wait. That's not that big of a jump there. In terms of like how we can move things around in comparison. Yeah, I mean, whatever is a fair compensation, so that whatever is a fair compensation is what they should get. Yeah, I mean, you can get anywhere from, depending on the type of doctor, anywhere from 113,000. You can make anywhere from like 113,000 all the way, I guess, if you're like a specialist, to the 400,000s. But those are like very specific specialized doctors. So yeah, I mean, sure, fine, we can, exactly, Darknet, use that and give it to the doctors. There you go. Take the money from the insurance companies and give it to the doctors. Ta-da! The average annual salary for a doctor in Canada is around 281,000 for family doctors, 360,000 for medical specialists, and 480,000 for surgical specialists as of 2018. And Canada has a type of universal healthcare system, does it not? So it can be done. so it can be done. So it can be done. And those salaries are in line. So those salaries are in line with more or less about our salaries here. So the idea that, and this is, and just like as a general statement, the idea that a single payer system would somehow like cut doctors' salaries by a wild amount is not true. It's not true. They earn about the same. They earn about the same. Their healthcare outcomes are, are generally speaking, more or less in line. And there's no such thing as medical debt. People get preventative care. It's cheaper. I mean, I spoke to Twitch chatter who was complaining that they don't cover dental. So, I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, it would be nice if they covered dental, because dental is extremely important. Dental care is extremely important. But, however, it's a it is a universal healthcare system that does pretty good, that does pretty well, and it pays their doctors well, and it's pretty decent. I mean, I don't see why we can't do that, right? I once read an estimate that we could double their salaries and still save tens of potentially billions of dollars. I would not be surprised. We are fighting for dental, though. I hope you guys get it, because dental is incredibly important. Although, even though you guys have to pay for dental, it's not nearly as expensive, is it? I heard that even dental is not like that big, like that much money, even if you have to pay for it. But I mean, I guess you could argue that because you save so much money on every other aspect, your job, not all. When you lose your job, you lose your dental. Yeah, but I imagine like with all the money you save, in terms of like, in terms of like, the other healthcare, I guess you could kind of like cushion it, but I don't know. Yeah, it depends on the system. It's true. Depends on the system, but generally speaking, a universal healthcare system is the way to go. And out of all of those routes, generally speaking, the single payer usually takes the cake. I still get a small soda and it's 4 cups. What? Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, even small portions are huge. Dental insurance sucks, too. They barely even cover any part of the bill. Well, insurance in general for healthcare sucks. Anyways, let's focus. 49% of the population has had at least one shot, according to the CDC, with 39% fully vaccinated. So, My entire point of this is just because you got the first shot, doesn't mean that we're there, right? So at this point in time, we're at 39% fully vaccinated. That is so they've set the limit at 70%, right? That is nowhere near that yet. We're not even near that, okay? So until we reach that, I would suggest everybody to do everything they can and their part to either get vaccinated, and meanwhile, as you wait, if you're not vaccinated, please wear your mask, social distancing, and all that stuff, or stay home. Nothing worse for your teeth than soda. True. What do you believe? Yeah. So, soda bad. Soda bad. True. I don't. That's not a controversial statement. Of people ages 18 and older, 61% are at least partially vaccinated. President Joe Biden's goal is to get that number to 70% by July 4th. Well, I mean, ideally, does that mean 70% with full vaccination? Because that would be nice. But it says partially vaccinated, and then the same statement says partially vaccinated to numbers at 70%. So basically, because US wide, we are at 49%, at least with one shot, then then 70% by July 4th, which I think can be met. But the reality is, we need people to just be fully vaccinated as quickly as possible. What percentage are not vaccinated and lurking from work? Yeah, if you feel comfortable disclosing that information, we got a question in chat. What is the percentage not vaccinated? We were just talking that I got my first vaccine yesterday. The difficult truth is, I don't know. Life is a difficult truth. There you go. Next question. Oh yeah, I can do a poll. Oh yeah. Go for it, Dark Knight. Yeah. I'm pretty much ADT's 4 pillars with this, and there should be help covering education, food, housing, and medicine in a rich country like Canada. I think we can easily afford that. True. Of people 18, oh yeah, vaccination progress varies across the country. While some states have a majority of adults jabbed, that figure is below 50% in 10 states, including Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, and Wyoming, which are under 47%. Yikes. Data from CDC shows the US is reporting an average of 1.8 million vaccinations per day over the last week. Yeah, so Uber and Lyft are offering free rides to and from vaccination sites. I would like to also point out that this graph here, I'm sure this is the same. Yeah, this is the same graph. Nice. This graph right here is representative of how vaccines work, or the difference between taking this seriously and having at least an administration that acknowledges the issue and attempts to solve this issue. However, milk toast it has been. You could see the difference as we get more and more people vaccinated. The trend is clear. Vaccines work. Masks work. Even the most bare minimum even the most bare minimum makes a huge difference, folks. I mean, like, what is the percentage of population that isn't vaxxed? So I'm listening no as to now, so as to not alert anybody. Which percent of the population isn't vaxxed? Okay, so as far as we can tell, in the United States, we are at 39% fully vaxxed. So that means 61% are not fully vaccinated. 49% of the population have had one shot, which means 51% are not having not one shot. We're nowhere near. No, we're not. So that's my point. Even though we're seeing good numbers, even though we're seeing the effects as people get vaccinated, as people wear masks and all this other stuff, we're seeing the trends go down in the right direction. But still, in the United States alone, we're still averaging 25,000, 24,794 cases as a 7-day average. About 550 something deaths a day. So this is enough to perpetuate this if we don't do our part. If we want to just stamp this out, if you're interested in just ending and trying to go back to somewhat normal status, just do what the experts say, okay? I mean, this is just get vaccinated, wear your mask, social distancing, so on and so forth. Just, it's that simple. If you want this graph to continue in the right direction, and you want to be done, you want to get back to quote unquote normal, or at least as much normal as possible, then do your part, okay? That's just that simple. Just that simple. Switching gears here really quickly. Record temperatures possible as heat wave scorches southeast. I'm ready. Ooh boy. Midsummer-like heat will scorch portions of the southeast next week with potentially record-challenging temperatures well into the 90s. The heat will challenge daily record highs for several days in a row in cities such as Charlotte and Raleigh, North Carolina, with afternoon highs are even slightly above what they normally peak at in July or August. Yikes. AccuWeather senior meteorologist Dan Padas, I'm not even going to try. Records could be set in Nashville, Atlanta, Birmingham, and in Birmingham in Alabama. Overall, more than 70 daily heat records may be broken this week as a high-pressure system dominates eastern half of the country, CNN said. More than 30% of the population will see temperatures of at least 90 degrees or higher this week. So, yeah, this is, I suspect, the possibility of this just being the new normal. It seems to me like every single year, every single season, we're having record this, record that. Just to point out, again, that this is pretty true. Climate change is happening. It's happening in front of our faces. I can make a joke right now, but this is serious shit. True. Yeah, that's true, Memo. about needing to having heat in every home in Canada. Yep, depending on where you look it up, they will list it as part of China. Many of the heat will peak Wednesday and Thursday, bringing the greatest chance for temperature to break daily record highs, AccuWeather said. In parts of Georgia and the Carolinas could hit 100 degrees. Parts of the southeast could stay hot right through the end of work week. Yikes. Those spending time outdoors when the heat is most intense from late morning to mid-afternoon hours will want to make sure to take necessary precautions, such as staying well hydrated, take frequent breaks, staying in shaded areas as much as possible, and using proper protection to prevent sunburn. Pytonsky said that while temperatures will resemble midsummer and humidity will increase some, humidity will remain relatively low compared to midsummer. Yeah, so, I mean, we're seeing, like, there's trends of these seasons starting earlier, of these hot weather patterns start earlier, last longer. We saw that hurricane season is starting earlier, lasting longer. Yeah, hey KTS, global warming is real. How come it snowed this winter? Mr. Dexter's laboratory. Right. Oh yeah, this is exactly what I was saying. NOAA predicts another busy Atlantic hurricane season with up to 20 named storms possible. Another busy Atlantic hurricane season. So, I mean, like, this isn't... At this point, it isn't like, oh, we just hit a new trend. Like, no, this is the new normal. The southeast and Gulf Coast is so oppressive between heat and humidity. Time to go to sleep. Okay. John Cena knows that about very well researched. Taiwan is in the news section and you'll see. Well, actually, I can't see John Cena. Northeast and mid-Atlantic will see cooler weather Monday and Tuesday before temperatures rebound on Wednesday. Boston will go from low 90s Sunday down to 60s and 70s on Monday and Tuesday, and right back up to the 90s again. Yikes. So brace yourself, folks. This is again the new normal. I hope we don't see a summer politicians showing us snowballs to prove climate change isn't real. Yeah, I mean, it's frustrating. Like, time after time and season after season, we see like these unprecedented records that keep happening. So at that point, they're not really that unprecedented, right? It starts to become like the new norm. The West is also going through a massive drought this year. Yikes. Yikes. Yeah, and the problem with that is all these like changing weather patterns are going to are creating issues with how we do crops and how we do farming and all this other stuff, which is a problem if you're interested in the food production. I grew up in a desert. 100 degrees Fahrenheit in the afternoons. We did not go out and play. Yikes. 100 degrees is not safe. True. Good thing we grow rice in Cali. Also good thing Nestle, yeah, who is also experiencing who also experienced unprecedented heat waves last year or last season, did they not? I mean, all of this is just like not good. First name typhoon has already happened. Yep. That's also early. Yep. South Korea gave China a bunch of trees to do that because of the yellow dust issues. And China just planted all those trees in Beijing. China's changing their desert into forest with the Great Green Wall. I wonder how that'll work. I mean, not that, like... Not that planting trees is bad. I just don't know, like... The Gobi Desert blows into South Korea, which is deadly, and it's because of desertification. Gotcha. Oh, the trees are supposed to be planted. Oh, I see. So they planted it somewhere else. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, not that planting trees is bad. But I feel like we're past that. You know, that is something we can do and we should do in the efforts to restore ecosystems. But yeah, I don't know if we're just gonna say that we just need to plant trees to fix climate change. I think we're way we're past that. Yeah, planting trees will help, but we need a lot of trees and stop cutting down the Amazon forest. Well, first of all, absolutely, we do need to stop. We do need to stop down the cutting down the Amazon. That's true. Ah, this was to stop. Okay, so I see. So this is not to revert their certification. Yeah, I think we're all like we're on two different levels here. But I see what you're saying, Memo. Yikes. Drawbacks are that it absorbs the sonic water, green walls, creating the largest monoculture of trees in the world. Oof. The Gobi Desert was created by bad farming practices of planted trees to undo the damage. Okay, so okay. Oh yeah, I see. Did anybody else grow up on Captain Planet and Fern Gully? I did. Fern Gully. Fern Gully is one of the films that really, as a young person, till this day stuck. Till this day stuck with me. There you go. That's what I'm trying to say. The certification is literally one of the worst things we can do. True. In fact, somebody pointed out about the Amazon. If we continue down this path, the Amazon is already parts of the Amazon are already going from tropical rainforest to savanna status because of the horrible stuff we've done, cutting down trees, so on and so forth. The Central Valley used to be all forest. Yikes. Fern Gully is one of the goats. True. Fern Gully definitely did stick with me till this day. Not Richard Warlock. Resubscribe. Tier 1 subscription. 4 months. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. 4 months. Hi. How's it going? Ah, Darknet beat me to it. Everybody go check out twitch.tv/leftflankvets. We need to bring back Captain Planet. Yeah. Also planting a great green wall in Africa to prevent desertification. Interesting. Yeah, so one of the prescriptions that I've talked about is pouring resources into restoring destroyed ecosystems. So yes, that is part of it. 90s animations did a really good job at teaching our generations about climate change and saving the planet. Yes, well, at least At least they brought that to attention. At least they brought that to attention. I mean, till this day, I still, I was and am influenced by those type of, messages and films, you know? I watched a show about doing artificial watering holes they recently made in Africa. I forgot where. It was amazing seeing all the animals. Yeah. I mean, we've got, if we were to take, if we wanted to take this seriously, there is a large, I mean, there's just so much that we would need to do, in order for us to turn this around. I can't believe it's been so long and we still haven't done anything about climate change. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a it's mainly a tragedy of like allowing large polluting corporations, the people responsible to control the narrative, and because of their disproportionate undue influence on the government, they also happen to be the ones that make the rules, or rather, lack of rules for themselves. I did not know that, Memmius. Very cool. I didn't know that. PBS has shows like Sesame Street and regular episodes about environmentalism. Interesting. That's good. Beef consumption is what's creating a rush to cut down the rainforest. Yes, it is part of it. Yes, that's true. They are destroying parts of the rainforest to make way for the ability to raise cattle or beef. Programming the children when they're young is one of the best moves. I literally feel guilty whenever I throw it away, a can or bottle, if there's no recycling bin around. Well, like, the thing is, even though it's like, it's not necessarily bad to do that, KTS, the problem is the programming that you received is that it's your responsibility, not the people producing the said can or bottle in the first place. That's the problem. That's the problem. You feel guilty for the product that whatever can or bottle company made. You're the one feeling guilty for their responsibility. Why is that? Why is that? That's the entirety of the issue. Also, individual second does not make that much of a difference. Exactly. Not that you shouldn't. But we have to understand that just but a drop in the ocean. But not even a drop in the ocean. A tiny particle of salt in the ocean, of salt water. That's what we are in terms of like us trying to compete with the daily metric tons of pollutions, right? I understand that companies have a bigger responsibility than individuals. It's true. I mean, it's the onus is on them. They're the ones creating this BS products and pushing it on us, right? So, okay, here's how the analogy goes. So, in the case of Purdue Pharma, right? In the case of Purdue Pharma, they were found responsible. They were found guilty for perpetuating the opioid crisis, right? You don't say, "Oh, well, it's the individual's fault for, taking the prescriptions." No. Who is pushing these products? Who is marketing these products? Who has lied for decades about these products? Correct. Correct. There's also reduce, reuse, and refuse. Right, so the point being is, obviously, the implication is overconsumption is a problem, which is pushed on us for the sake of profit. Planned obsolescence, giving us not really much of a choice in terms of reusing or attempting to have like one thing last us a long time like it's supposed to. But of course, for the sake of profit, they have planned obsolescence. For example, my phone is already years old, and they just sent a notification on my phone, like, "Oh, well, unfortunately, your phone will no longer be receiving updates. Buy more." Like, right, to fix is a growing movement. Yeah, I believe in that, to try to combat planned obsolescence, and it's just perpetuating overconsumption. Yes, that has stopped. Not Richard Warlock. That has stopped. That has stopped. China has stopped taking in all of the recycling because A, they have their own, and B, they realize that like they can't use it. Consumers can make a difference. There are a lot of examples of it working, like getting restaurants to stop using styrofoam containers. Oh yeah, like absolutely. I mean, there are certain things that we can do, but without pressure and without incentives. By incentives, I mean regulations. I think that it kind of reinforces that, right? It no longer is just like, oh yeah, well, just not necessarily do that. It's actually codified. You cannot use single-use utensils made out of plastic, period. It's got to be made out of hemp or whatever biodegradable material. So yes, of course, I'm not going to dispute that, Darknet. Absolutely, we can make a difference. We can, and we should do what we can in the time that we have with the tools that we have. Sure, but yes, absolutely, it should be the people holding not only the government, but corporations accountable too, right? Consumer choices will pressure companies and governments to a degree. Yes, that is a piece of that. I'm not going to dispute that, of course. However, what if the companies continuously push? What if the companies continuously push this? This BS products and AstroTurf Airways and airwaves to say that, oh, the onus is on you. Then kind of, I could see that argument. The capitalism and capitalists know one thing: maximize profit. We can't depend on them. Yeah, no, I don't think so either. In terms of climate change, this is not capable. I've heard a lot of lefties saying that we shouldn't attempt to change our own behavior because it's the only thing that can work. Is electoralism, which I think is complete bullshit. Yeah, no. Okay, no. Electoralism is a piece, a tool that you can use. You can vote. Hey, Justin, how's it going? Electoralism is a thing you can do. I wouldn't like, if I can vote for somebody who's more environmentally friendly, I will. It's a tool. But the idea that we shouldn't do something, that we shouldn't do our part, is also complete bullshit, like Darknet says. I mean, of course we can do something, and it's not necessarily like again, not to take away from people attempting to recycle or to organize beach cleanups or organize their community to take action, or petitions or protests. These are not these are things that we the people can do. I mean, the idea that we're just going to solve this by simple electoralism is nonsense. No. It is a tool that we should use. It is a tool. And something we must do. Yeah, I mean, like, for us to have a successful democracy, we need to participate in it. And we need to understand that if we want stuff done, we also have to vote. I'm not saying that it's just because we vote, we fixed everything. I mean, which is why I was stressing that if Joe Biden happened to win, which he did, that doesn't mean it's over, right? That doesn't mean like, oh yeah, hey guys, we fixed it, we did it, we did the thing. No. I mean, like, I've sat here and criticized him over 9,000 times over his god-awful choices for climate change advocacy, and god-awful choices for people that he has hired. Mr. Technology from the future is going to fix climate change, Kerry. I mean, sure. Yeah, multiple points of attack. Correct. That's what it is. Because this problem of climate change isn't going to be just solved by doing one thing. Isn't gonna be solved by saying, oh yeah, we did, I don't know, solar panels, everybody, that's it, it's done, we did it. No. It isn't just saying, oh, all we need to do is just stop polluting. I mean, no. It's good. It's a thing that we have to do. But just saying that, oh yeah, we just stop polluting, clean up the ocean, everything's fine. No. No, that's not just it. There are multiple things that need to happen for us to be able to even begin to address climate change. One of them being understanding that this system, this over-consumerist, overconsumption, this economic system isn't sustainable. Okay, this current path that we're on is not sustainable. It's just not. That's one of the things that we have to acknowledge. Then we have to acknowledge that, yeah, the government is gonna have to step in. The government is gonna have to step in. There's gotta be regulations and new codifications to try to curb or eliminate plastics. Governmental programs to switch to renewables. Governmental programs to divert resources to restore ecosystems. Governmental outreach to try to get an international coalition together. I mean, so yeah, there's going to be a multiple points of attack are necessitated to deal with this problem. And it's not looking like we're gonna get there necessarily. Doesn't mean we shouldn't try, but realistically, it's not looking good. Yeah, exactly. Some companies will change, some companies will never change. True. Florida governor bans on deplatforming. Florida governor signs ban on deplatforming by tech companies. All right. Absolutely nice. Nice. You love to see it, folks. Germany sees meat production drop as demand for plant-based alternatives skyrockets. Nice. Meat production in Germany has declined while demand for plant-based alternatives continued to soar. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I completely support this. And like I try to make as much conscious choices as possible too. I mean, like, I make conscious choices. I make conscious choices as a well, the point being is to replace as much meat consumption as possible. I try to make conscious choices as a consumer as well, right? Like, for example, we try to do our best to bring our personal bags, reusable bags, into Publix, right? So that's an example. We try to do everything possible to bring our bags so that we don't take one of those plastic bags. If we do have to take bags, we'll take the paper bags that are more biodegradable. We try to make decisions of the dish soap that we use, the hand soap that we use. We try to make biodegradable choices, things like this, right? Plant-based dish soap. Why did Sam Cedar call you a Voshite? Wow. First of all, I would like to be pointed out where Sam Cedar A acknowledged my existence, and B, why I would ever be called a Voshite. Maybe you're confused, my friend. Sam Cedar acknowledged my existence? Yeah, exactly. Plastic bags are banned in all stores where I'm from. Nice. I wish it was the case everywhere. I mean, if you did, well, I'm glad that he acknowledged my existence, I guess. I guess. He acknowledged my existence, hey, but no, he would be incorrect to call me a Voshite. According to reports, the country's Federal Statistic Office meat substitutes are an attempt to get more people to step away from meat. True. The country's Federal Statistic Office said the total value of meat products in Germany was valued at 46.8 billion. This year's a 4% decrease from 2019. However, plant-based meat alternatives skyrocketed 39% in 2020 compared to the year before. The value of meat substitutes also increased from 272.8 million to a staggering 347.9 million. Nice. Meat replacement production soared from 60,400 tons to nearly 84,000 tons in 2020. Yeah, I mean, this is great. This is absolutely great. So where we can, as individuals, we try to make decisions, conscious decisions, as well. I'm serious, going full amount, calling all of you market socialist CIA ops. On the SS Twitch, true. I appreciate that, Bemius. Where I'm from, they banned single-use bags and push bags for life, which are thicker and reusable. Now people just have drawers and cupboards full of these bags for life and never remember to take them to the supermarket. Well, I mean, like, yeah, you gotta have to remember. You gotta have to remember that. But we make it a very conscious choice to do what we can to remember and always put the bags in the car, keep them in the car, and do that. Want to talk to an actual environmentalist? Check out twitch.tv/Bela. True, actually. Why are you guys listening to me? Wait, hold on. This is a great point. Why are you guys listening to me? On the environment. Check out twitch.tv/Bela when it comes to climate change and environmental science. An actual scientist. Why are you guys listening to this rando on the internet? Oh, we just come here for the free soda. Gotcha. That's very, very good point, Memius. Look, I have good political takes, but when it comes to the environment, why are you guys listening to this rando? Go to twitch.tv/Bela. Yeah, but what's going on the back? What's going into the bags for your life? Most groceries have unnecessary plastic packaging, even Whole Foods. True. That is a whole other thing. Heat that needs to be addressed. So here they call us. Here in Cali, they make us pay for bags, so it's not that they make money off it. The bags bigger and smaller. How does this make any sense? So not that they can actually make money off it. The bags are thicker and smaller. How does this make any sense? I believe the point would be for you not to use plastic bags. So if you have to pay for it, it'll encourage you not to use them. I don't know if that's what you're trying to say. There's some cool card packaging that they're using here, and hopefully it's all reusable. Yeah. Like the point being is all of this plastic single-use stuff needs to go. It needs to go. Hey, actually, Steak, how's it going? Long time no see. Hope you're doing okay, my friend. All of that needs to be addressed and could be with a governmental regulation where it says, hey, how about this? Plastic wrap, saran wrap, styrofoams, all of that, it's gotta go. If you make these type of packaging, it's gotta be biodegradable or nothing at all. Figure it out. Glass containers, whatever it is. I think it's a money-making scheme by the stores to get you buy bags. To have more buy bags. Normal because they are smaller. I mean, if okay, I don't know what to tell you. The point being is to discourage you from using plastic bags. Just use your own or buy your own bags. I saw some documentary because we have our own bags. If I ever see Sam Cedar in a grocery, I'm gonna lose it. Like, what the fuck do you people know? This is the guy that got mauled by a bear on Conan. True. 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 I saw some documentary about the rivers in the poor countries where they process Western waste. It's just a swamp of rainbow plastic. Oof. Canvas bags are great. Haven't had one of those drop my milk. Hey, we got another fantastic human being in the room. Check out twitch.tv/wizardbreadbook. Canvas bags are great. Yeah, like anything, you don't have to, first of all, Great Equalizer, you don't have to buy those bags. You can just get your own somewhere else and have a couple of just bigger bags. We have an assortment of various bags that we traded with my parents so that everybody has these reusable bags. And I think we may have bought maybe a couple of them. Most of them were just bags that we had anyways. I reuse bags for trash bags, however, I just recycle them when I get home. Yeah, I mean, like, if you do have these plastic bags, try to use them as much as possible. Try to reuse them as much as possible, or avoid them altogether. Like, there's no need. I had those canvas type bags, but after a few washes, they fell apart. Yeah, I don't wash mine. Well, ours aren't canvas bags. Let me rephrase that. Ours aren't canvas bags necessarily. Ours are just like those reusable ones. Lord, yes. So here's the TLDR before we move on. Do what you can. Do what you can as an individual to make conscious decisions, but understand that that's not the only thing you need to do. And B, don't think that just electoralism will solve everything, or just one catch-all will be the silver bullet to climate change. There's many things that need to be done. There's many things that need to be done. Oh my god. No. 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 Try to keep it PG-13, please. Well, I mean, even if we did that, not it's not solving everything. I don't think that is a silver bullet. I mean, it's understanding that obviously our economic system at this point is unsustainable. This is just if we keep going down this path, it's not sustainable. I don't think that will be the silver bullet to just fix climate change. I think it's important to acknowledge that the system that we have at this point, I think that it's important to acknowledge that this consumerist system at this point, it's unsustainable, and it is destroying the planet. It is encouraged. It's encouraged to destroy this planet. Clack, how's it going? We should eat to 300 extra week unemployment. Not really sold on that. Not really sold in that, on that position yet. I think that, I think it's it's too early to quote unquote eat the extra unemployment when people desperately still need it. We're not there yet. I think it's premature. Alright, folks. Florida governor signs ban on deplatforming by tech companies. Wonder how this is going to be enforced. The law imposes penalties of up to $250,000 a day on a social media platform that bans a candidate for office. The tech industry says the law takes us closer to state-run internet. Florida Governor DeSantis on Monday signed the law that gives the state the power to penalize social media companies when they ban political candidates, escalating a fight between the tech industry and the Republicans such as DeSantis and former President Trump. The system as it is, it's going to collapse itself. I mean, if we continue down this path, true. The law to prohibit deplatforming is the first of its kind in the nation and may be a model for other states to follow, even though one tech business group said the law runs counter to the First Amendment. DeSantis celebrated the law as a blow against Silicon Valley elites who said we're seeking to censor conservative political views. I would also just like to point out that this is not the case. What we've been seeing across the US is an effort to silence and intimidate and wipe out dissenting voices by leftist media and big corporations. Bit of a contradiction there, my friend. Researchers on social media have frequently shown the opposite. Right, we were just talking about this. That conservative politicians and websites can be so effective on social media, they often dominate measures such as Facebook's ranking top links. Facebook has also relaxed its rules so that conservative pages are not penalized for violations. Nice. Why do only the political powerful get free speech? Because that's how it works. That's... Yeah, surely it should be everybody, right? Sure. It should be fair for all, but, you know, they talk about this, when in reality, this isn't, this is, what this is proposing a solution to a problem that doesn't exist, right? Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube and other major services blocked Trump shortly after the January 6th attack on the US Capitol by his supporters. Trump violated terms of service that users agreed to when they sign up, including terms that bar the promotion of violence. Now, yes, that's true, but, it's true, but and there is a criticism of these giant social media platforms where they have, where their terms of service is essentially arbitrary, right? And it's not skewed necessarily to one side or the other, but it's arbitrary. Some people will get banned for absolutely no reason, and some people promoting violence or other alleged terms of service violations aren't banned, right? I mean, it's arbitrary, and that's the problem. They are too big. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter are huge. And worst of all, arbitrary. Like, it boosted to something and it goes on and thinking that their ideology is being silenced. Yeah, exactly. Good luck with that. You have to defeat communism and the axis of evil first. Wait, what does that mean? That doesn't make any sense. There's a load of free speech and deplatforming protection bills going through the UK at the moment. Hopefully that's just for show, but the whole thing is that... But the whole thing that's getting whipped up here too. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, like, the data and the studies show that... the people likes of the likes of, like, Ben Shapiro are always incredibly pushed by social media algorithms. I mean, they're usually on the top, always. And I mean, Steven Crowder has millions of subscribers. Pim Tool is huge. Pim Tool is huge. Florida's law says that social media companies may not permanently delete or ban a candidate for office. Suspension of up to 14 days are allowed. And a service can remove individual posts that violate its terms of service. Wait, so if people... Wait, hold on. So wait. So if a political person or anybody, as in any capacity, is... Let's say for argument's sake, for a quick second, let's say there is a bunch of people arguing or advocating for violence, right? Or advocating for violence. Why shouldn't they be banned? That is a violation of TOS. So instead, what they're saying is they have to just remove those individual posts. And second of all, like, let's just take a step back. Why is the party of supposed limited government interfering with corporations all of a sudden very interested in limiting corporations? And you need a scapegoat, yeah. Attention is the currency of the marketplace of ideas. True. Yeah, that's true. If a company's actions are found to violate the law, the state's election commission could fine a social media company $250,000 a day for statewide candidates, and $25,000 a day for other candidates. Individuals in Florida may also sue for violations of the law, such as failure by company to be transparent about its terms of service. Well, I mean, I'll say this: a lot of terms of service on these large social media platforms are I think that they should be. Hey, Kyle, how's it going? They should be more clear, and B, should be enforced in a in the way that they're meant to be enforced. It's just that simple, right? If your terms of service say you cannot do X, and that's it, that just applies across the board. Unfortunately, a lot of these social media companies do not apply these things correctly across the boards. They're arbitrary. They're arbitrary. Companies are excluded from the law if they operate a theme park or entertainment complex. A provision that was added to the law to protect Disney's streaming service. Nice meme. What? A similar proposal is making its way through Texas legislature. Of course. Carlos Sasbo, a vice president and general counsel at NetChoice, a tech industry trade group, said the law may force platforms to carry posts that include violence or other harmful content. By forcing websites to host speech, this bill takes us closer to state-run internet where the government can cherry-pick winners and losers. The First Amendment prohibits the government from compelling or controlling speech on private websites. Yeah, so that can also be flipped around its head, right? They technically have the ability to say who can and cannot be on their platform. Again, the problem is here is that these platforms have been allowed to get so big, kind of blurs the lines here. Islam passes out pretending right wings can anything except maintaining hierarchies and their positions in them. True. That's why they don't care about a reason or hypocrisy. They mostly have what they want. All they want to do is win. For a win state is distract people by trying to make change. True. By forcing websites to host speech and is built in. Oh yeah, okay. Mark Schurz, president of computer and communications industry, said the law is unconstitutional. Yeah, like, and how are you supposed to enforce these things? First of all, like the legality of it. How are you supposed to enforce these things? A lot of these companies aren't based in Florida. I mean, okay, are you gonna extradite Facebook from are you gonna extradite like I don't know how this is even gonna really work. There's also a constitutional problem there with the First Amendment, so we'll see. Facebook and Twitter declined to comment on the law. YouTube did not immediately respond to requests for comment. All three are members of NetChoice and CCIA. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not gonna argue. I'm not gonna argue that these companies are too big, but also this is like completely like ridiculous, right? This isn't gonna be able to be enforced, and this is providing a solution that this is providing a solution to a problem that really doesn't exist. To be quite honest. Well, there's a difference between bickering over like parties, which is kind of nonsense because no party is really taking the needs of people. I think that there are competing ideas, and those that want progress should be the ones to continue to push for that. These laws are distraction, gives the party another us and them more. Yeah, it's a complete like this is political. Political grandstanding, and I think that the reason why this guy is doing this is because he's raising his national profile, getting ready to run. That's what it is. What are your limits on speech in this chat? No free speech allowed in this chat. No free speech here. There's well, the only thing allowed is my thoughts. The only thing allowed is my ideas. Online media companies have a responsibility to carry all voices impartially once they're at a certain size, perhaps. Well, I don't know, like, I don't know if the idea would be impartiality. I think it would be proportionality, right? Like, ideally, if an idea is completely fringe, it should stay that way in proportion. It should stay over there, you know? But that's just me. Ideally, first of all, ideally these companies wouldn't be as big as and have this amount of power in the first place. Only subscribers can speak, so I didn't say a thing. That's right. That's right. Only subscribers who are subscribed to me can think for themselves and can speak freely in this chat. That's correct. That's my that's my rules of free speech, okay? There's no such thing as free speech in my chat unless you're unless you're a subscriber. No, that's not That's not true. Limits on free speech are very simple. Do not say anything that would violate terms of service, and try to keep it on topic, okay? Try to keep on topic, try to be respectful, try to be respectful. This is a friendly space, PG-13. You know, let's all be nice. Yeah, exactly. Let's all be nice. Are not common carriers. Yeah, they're not like publishers, right? They're platforms. No mods, no masters. Listen, Wiz, I don't need you to lead a mutiny of mods against me, okay? I don't need you to lead a mutiny of mods against me, okay? Like, well, I mean, are you sure about that, Great Equalizer? Are you sure about that? Because, like, objectively speaking, there are policy proposals that are objectively better that that are just not being done because of a specific party, right? In certain things. So I'm just saying, I'm not sure that we're having like a fair or a fair assessment here, Great Equalizer, because there are objectively policies that could be way more effective. However, it seems to me like there's one party continuously poo-pooing everything consistently. This is not abdication, defense of the Democratic Party in any way, shape, or form. Alright, we gotta talk about this, folks. We gotta talk about this. You know what? First, let me just go through this meme article really quickly. I saw this on the Discord. Trump relaunching his big rallies in June, plus his Trump family member might fight for U.S. Senate seat. So it seems like I'm incredibly. I might have to completely backpedal on this. But they're so pointy and boomy. Nah, I'm hard pass. I'm beginning to backpedal completely on this because my original thought when this guy lost, right, was that, you know what, we're not going to see him again. He's probably not going to run. There's no reason for him to run. He's not that type of, like, he's not a good loser, right? So he's just gonna run with his tail between his legs and start some other con business and just go about his life trying to con people as he always does. Because he already conned the United States as much as he could. So I figured that he would just jump ship like he always does every time he fails. He just jumps ships and does another con. It's kind of a modus operandi for him. But the more and more I think about it, and I believe Darknet also brought this point, it feels like he might actually run. It feels like he might actually run. I'm beginning to shift in that position, in that opinion, right? I'm beginning to backpedal on that because originally I thought, look, this guy is done. He did his con. He pulled it off, and now he's gonna jump off into doing something else. But he might. He might run. Didn't Trump almost die of COVID? I think that his health status during that time was serious. I don't know. But I do know that his health was serious. I hope Trump splits the Republicans, but too many would have to grow a spine. I don't know. I think that honestly they will back him. They will back him because, well, it seems to me like the majority of the party is behind him and hasn't dropped him. Because, well, maybe he's actually going to run. I don't know, but it feels like he might. In which case, spread it forward. I just pointed out this would be absolutely devastating. Or we would be going backwards. They need something like Trump, but not, just not like Donnie. I don't know. Biden keeps breaking all his campaign promise. He's gonna get easy clapped. Oh yeah, no, 100%. 100%. I completely am with you. I'm completely with you because, like, that would, I mean, Biden didn't win by, like, some phenomenal, like, platform or anything like that. So just to be clear, Biden didn't necessarily win, Trump lost. Does that make sense? Biden didn't necessarily win, Trump lost. I would have chilled in the champagne if I knew this. Right, exactly, Wizard. It's just the fact that it's like Trump, how to get them out to vote without a Trump figure, I'm not sure. Well, yeah, that's a good point. But that was the point of DeSantis kind of building his national profile, right? Over 6 million votes for Biden isn't small. No, it isn't necessarily small. What I mean is, the reason why Biden won isn't because of Joe Biden, okay? Biden won because Trump lost, okay? Trump's horrifying failures. Trump's horrible failures is what led to his loss in this manner. This was a complete and utter rejection of Trump by the country. This wasn't because Biden was some awesome candidate or anything like that. Is what I'm saying. What I'm freaked out about is that we aren't making enough changes that we could at this moment mitigate climate change. The biggest players are moving way too slow and letting social movements taking the spotlight away from impending disasters. True. I have good takes all the time, always. That's why everyone should listen to me when I say abolish pickles, capitalism, and baseball. Okay, true. Candace, someone scares me. She's more Trumpian than Trump on some things. Yeah. The Twitter universe and COVID helped Trump lose. I think honestly, COVID. I think COVID was the nail in the coffin. I think COVID was the nail. I think COVID was the nail in the coffin. And the economic downswing was the nail in the coffin. So, you don't think Trump will be found guilty in court for any of these upcoming charges? I don't know, Cosmic Rose. It's possible, but I'm not holding my breath. I disagree with complete and utter rejection of Trump. Okay, so, alright. If you think that I'm being a little bit more hyperbolic, fine. It was a strong message and a strong condemnation of Trump's failures. Okay? It's a strong condemnation of Trump's failures. Or a verdict. It's a strong verdict on Trump's failures. How about that? How about that? Is that better? Is that a more fair statement? That election was a condemnation of Trump's failures. There you go. Biden scares me, actually. Kamala scares me even more. I'm not sure about that, if she's a sellout. I mean, like, the whole point of a politician is to go with the wins of the people, right? So, yeah, I don't know about that. I'm asking because that would prevent him from being on the ballot. I wouldn't hold my breath, Cosmic Rose. I really wouldn't. Ooh, I really wouldn't. It's nice that they're attempting to hold these people in power accountable, and the investigation, should he be involved in criminal activity in terms of like criminal activity in terms of like his finances or his taxes or whatever, I'm in favor of them investigating that. But I'm not gonna hold my breath if there's gonna be some type of like real consequences. Perhaps there might be. The taxes always get them in the end, but I don't know. Didn't Trump lose? Lost with 49% of the vote. Yep. I don't know which I would choose. These aren't exactly good choices, folks. But one is even between one of those, even between those two, one of them is just a tiny bit better. But still, whew. Too many Americans are scared of having answered questions living in a non-white-dominated world. Right, but they're two very different charges. Huh? Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right, Great Equalizer. But, you know, at the end, the taxes is always what does them in, right? You know, the famous mob bosses always get messed up by the taxes. Well, who knows? Who knows? I'm just saying, I'm not holding my breath to see any type of consequences. I'm much more worried about a Tucker Carlson giving the presidential run a go. Well, I don't know if he's gonna give it a go. I think he's pretty comfortable in where he is right now. I doubt it. I'm actually impressed with Biden's domestic policies. I would say this: there are some policies that he's enacted that are just objectively better. However, we are far and a ways from where we need to be, and we're not nearly attempting to address the real roots of certain issues, which are really irking me, because some of these problems are being continued to be put with little band-aids instead of addressing them full on. Just address them, you know? No talk for president. True. No, we don't need to get that. We don't need to throw that energy into the ether. No, I seriously doubt someone. I seriously doubt like Tucker would run for president. I think he's comfortable where he is. You know, I could be wrong. Who knows? But that would not be good. I'm actually more concerned someone like DeSantis or what was that other guy? Is it Cotton? Oh man, I forgot this other senator who was super cringe. I think it is Tom Cotton. I would be more worried about that. I would be more worried about that. Remains so, but my expectations are so low. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's after going through the Trump presidency. After going through the Trump presidency, everything seems... Yes, there we go. That's the one. That's the one. Sorry. I mean, yes. I was thinking Cotton, but no. What I was worried about is Josh Hawley. I got you, bro. Don't worry. Aww. Where'd he go? Come back. Hehehehe. Here, don't worry. I got you. Don't worry. It's not that these figureheads I'm worried about is the people that writing their material and plotting their stuff, yeah. Give Biden the full 51%, then he could do what he wants, but we must deal with it as is. Yeah, of course. We deal with reality as is, and we gotta do what we can with the tools that we have and the time that we have. I mean, in an ideal situation, we would want to have Biden do what he's supposed to be doing for the people. In an ideal situation, we would want our leaders, doesn't matter what party they belong to, ideally, we would want them to be for the people. Unfortunately, that's not what's happening. Warren is too left. I don't know if she's too left. Booker is not in the running, so what choices are there? Not good ones. That's the problem. Boss told me we shouldn't de-accessionize the accession homophobic transphobic books because it is about the history. I want to tear my hair out. Oof. Yikes. These figureheads champion the brands. True. Alright, so TLDR, the fact that this guy's gearing up, launching big rallies, makes me believe that maybe he is going to run. Also, Darknet has brought up this point before, so I'm beginning to backpedal on this idea. He might actually run. So just as a heads up, this is possibly what's going to be put in front of us again. And of course, this stifles everything. This stifles everything. Because this just forces the Democratic Party to lower the bar. I mean, you don't have to go that high to beat Trump in terms of like supposed high ground, but whatever. He's having rallies to raise money for his lawyers, true. Just wants to cover a show. Yeah, maybe Zealduke. Maybe they're gonna build an even bigger ramp for him to run down. Maybe. Alright, last story of the day because we need to cover this. This is important. CBO, this is Central Budget Office or Committee Budget Office? I forget. U.S. nuclear arsenal to cost $634 billion over 10 years. Updating and maintaining the U.S. nuclear arsenal for the next 10 years is projected to cost Congressional Budget Office, cost $634 billion. The CBO reported in a report published on Monday. And to that I ask, who's going to pay for it? Where are we getting this money from? Who's paying for it? Yeah, until he's, thank you. My brother's working on nuclear weapons, so much money in that business, yikes. Just sell the golden statue. What's the military budget over 10 years again? About, what, 700 and something billion times 10? 700 and something billion times 10? So who's gonna pay for this? I feel like these questions are never asked. Who's gonna pay for this? Who's paying for this? You are paying for it, you and me. Ha ha, I know. The cost estimate for nuclear forces from 2021 to 2030 represent 20% increase compared to last CBO 10-year cost estimate 2 years ago. Why? If it's the same exact thing, why is it increasing every time? About half of the 140 billion increase comes from the fact that new estimate now includes a 2029-2030 when nuclear modernization is expected to be further along and quote-unquote more expensive. Really? Where's the itemized listed receipts as to why we need to spend all of this money? CBO's 634 billion estimates about 551 billion is what would be needed to fulfill the Defense and Energy Department's current nuclear plans. The remaining 83 billion is what CBO projects could be cost overruns based on how much costs have grown for similar programs in the past. Of the 551 billion, about 188 billion is projected to go towards modernizing nuclear weapons and their delivery systems. Always have billions of dollars. Always. There's never a question. There's never a question as to signing off on billions and billions and billions and billions on this. But when we ask for something as simple as a universal healthcare system. Oh, now we've got to tighten our purses, right? We've got to tighten our purses. And, you know, all of a sudden that becomes a problem. When we want to increase funding or, you know, housing or food or unemployment insurance during a pandemic, oh no, whoa, ho, 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 ho. Who's gonna pay for it? All of a sudden, these same people get very, very concerned about the budget and about how much money is being spent on it. The United States is in the midst of plans to modernize all three legs of the nuclear triad that the Government Accountability Office has projected could cost $1.7 trillion over 30 years. The triad refers to delivering nuclear weapons by sea, air, and land. Over the coming years, Congress will need to make decisions about what nuclear forces the United States should field in the future, and thus about the extent to which the nation will continue to modernize its nuclear forces. The report could also inform the Biden administration's expected review of U.S. nuclear policy and programs, with CBO noting that the Biden administration is widely expected to undertake a nuclear posture review to determine the nuclear policies it forces it will pursue. The new CBO estimates is likely to fuel a call from some Democrats to curb the costly nuclear modernization plans, which were largely started during the Obama administration. In particular, some Democrats have frequently targeted plans to replace aging intercontinental ballistic missiles, arguing it would be more cost efficient to extend the life of the current arsenal. Or, why is it necessary for us to have all of this that could end the world like 10 times over? Like, this is unnecessary. This is unnecessary. Yikes. What? Yikes. Amazing video of exploding under ice methane gas. So, what we're seeing is, I imagine the methane that's trapped under the permafrost. I think that's what we're seeing here, right? The methane trapped under the this is the methane trapped under the permafrost, right? If I'm correct. In Siberia? Yes, okay. Yeah. Yeah, this is cringe. This is cringe. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that.
There's the methane coming up right there. That's a nice example.
Yikes. Now that's horrifying. The implications of this are... Ooh.
That was good.
The implications of this are just horrifying. No, we don't need to tap these as a power source, nor do I think we have the ability. I don't know. We don't need to be even thinking about that, Cosmic Rose. The new CBO estimate is likely to fuel calls. Yes. Earlier Monday, a group of Democrats in the Senate and House, led by Senator Ed Markey and Earl Blumenauer, introduced a bill to cut $73 billion from the nuclear budget. A bill dubbed the Smarter Approach to Nuclear Expenditures, the SANE Act, would do that by barring the development of new ICBMs, air-launched cruise missiles, and submarine-launched cruise missiles. It would also cap the number of Columbia-class submarines the Pentagon can buy at 8, cut the existing ICBM fleet from more than 400 to 150, and reduce deployed strategic warheads from 1,500 to 1,000. President Biden can create a future safe from nuclear weapons, not for them, by stopping production of unnecessary nuclear weapon acquisition programs. True. The United States can deter our adversaries and reassure our allies without making an insane investment in nuclear weapons overkill. In an insane investment in nuclear weapons overkill, including capabilities that may invite rather than prevent a nuclear exchange. Yeah, like this is all backwards, right? The United States already has first of all, enough nukes as it is. It also has the capability, the most powerful the most powerful navy. It controls the seas, and the Air Force is the most powerful. It can control the skies. The idea that this is necessary, meanwhile we still don't have not even a conversation about healthcare, is unacceptable, right? It's unacceptable. Reducing this by half would still give us the possibilities of defending ourselves. Like this is just asinine. This is not necessary. And I want to hear cries about where this money is coming from. I want to see them. Where's the very fiscally conservative people concerned about the billions instead of repurposing and reorganizing our priorities to actually help us? This is beyond necessary. This is beyond unnecessary. This is ridiculous. Things may change directions, but even then, like, we dwarf any capabilities that the Russians have. I mean, like, what year is this? I thought Cold War had ended. True. Like, we dwarf any country, name them, and we dwarf them tenfold. Why? How much are their trillions going to campaign contributions? Too many. Oh, I mean, I'm sure the military-industrial complex is one of the top lobby groups out there. There's a giant healthcare lobby group. There's a giant military-industrial complex lobby groups. There's a giant oil and fossil fuel lobby groups. Yeah, these are things. Larry vaccinated. So yeah, this is incredibly wasteful. Meanwhile, there are homeless people. Meanwhile, we don't have healthcare. Meanwhile, we are woefully behind in education. I mean, this is just unnecessary. I thought Russia has parity with deliverable nukes. I don't think they have parity in terms of, like, they may have large numbers, but their capabilities of delivering said nukes are very limited. They're nowhere near the capabilities that the US military has. I don't think that they're even close at this point. We've long surpassed them in terms of, like, our ability to just wipe any adversary off the planet should we choose, from what I understand. And why? There's homeless people. There's healthcare to take care of. We're behind in education. It's all backwards. We've got our priorities backwards. We've got our priorities backwards, in my opinion. We've got climate change to deal with. Can you imagine what 634 billion would do? I mean, remind me of what START was? I have no idea. Alright, folks, it is 11:25, so I do have to start going. Had good missiles. Yeah, I mean, at one point we were, doing the whole Cold War thing, but it's nowhere, I think, at this point. It is very safe to say that we don't have a meaningful threat in terms of like someone is beating us in any way, shape, or form. Like our priorities are all backwards, right? Instead of talking about war and nuclear missiles, we need to be talking about how to solve these issues. Can you imagine 634 billion for climate change? I mean, seriously, let's reorganize and rethink our priorities here. And see the army nukes. True. I mean, it's true. On that note, folks, I do have to get going. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate that. Thank you, Not Richard Warlock, for the tier 1 subscription. Well endowed, man. Thank you for the follow. Antisocial Penguin, Alio with the 11 biddies. ZJ for the offline follow. I appreciate all of you guys. You guys are what makes this channel grow. If you guys enjoy the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, follow, do all the awesome stuff. We're here Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Time. So tell everybody and anybody that this is the chillest place to be for news and politics. Yes, climate is priority. Thank you for hanging out. YouTube, yes, hit the exclamation Y2, exclamation Discord, YT, not Y2. Join the Discord, do all that awesome stuff. Thank you, Darknet. Thank you, Spread It Forward. I appreciate all of you guys being here. As always, please stay safe. Please take care of each other. I love you all, and I hope to see you guys in the next stream. See ya! Alright, folks, I believe we're heading to Ben's channel. Thanks for the stream. Thank you for hanging here. Yep, let's head on over, folks. No, thank you for hanging out. Cheers. Alright, folks, we're heading out in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Here we go.